I'm gonna present to you today Scoping Smarter, a proven method for Entra ID-based targeting in Jamf Pro. I'm Philippe Boucher, a senior consultant at Amaris Consulting, so I've been there for the past 5 years. And yeah, I'm a Jamf integrator as well, so first time at this conference and of course first time presenting. So what we're gonna look at today is really like what exactly is the problem that we're trying to solve, some of the prerequisites as well that we need in order to do this, and also what's available in Jamf Pro 11.18. And since I did that presentation just last week, actually, there was something new that came up in 11.29, so I'll show you that quickly as well. And then if we have time, some real world scenarios. So what problem are we trying to solve exactly? Well, we want to not necessarily just target policies, profile, and apps to devices, but we want to target it to people, a group of people, and Entra ID is the IDP, the identity provider that we find in most organizations. So that's what we're going to look at today. And so up until a few months ago, um, it was pretty complicated, to do this. You had to, for example, have the local username on the Mac, match the one under user and location of a Mac, and also compliance, blueprints. Jamf app catalog did not work with scope limitations, which was the solution back then. So, but since then, there's been a lot of new features. So how do we fix this? Well, first, there's a few prerequisites and integration that we need to put in place. Basically, what we want to have is what we see right here. So under user and location, we want to have the username filled in here. Once we got this, we're good to go with the solution. Everything flows easily. So how do we collect that user information from Entra ID? Well, there's two things that we need, two integrations. First is a cloud identity provider, and the second one is the inventory collection properly set up. So the cloud identity provider, as you guys know, is basically we would just want to have Jamf Pro be able to read Entra ID user informations, user groups, and basically to do that you need to be a global administrator. So normally in my full presentation I would have demoed that, but we're gonna go quickly, and I assume you guys already have that in place. The second thing is inventory collection. We want to ensure that we are collecting user and location information from directory service. The reason for that, so basically the way it will work is that every time a computer or mobile device submits inventory, Jamf Pro is going to perform a username lookup and confirm the group membership in Entra ID. At least that's with the old method, but we'll see as well with the new method. So how to do this? Well, very simple. You just go in computer management settings and you check that box, and that way the user information is going to be collected from the IDP. Same thing for device management. So how do we assign an Entra ID user under user and location? Well, there's multiple ways to do this. I'm just going to show two quick ones that require SSO to be in place. So yeah, first thing we need is the single sign-on integration to be in place with Entra ID. Once again, I'll not show how to do this, but I'm sure you know how to, or you have it in place. And as a result, let's say user does a manual enrollment, a user-initiated enrollment. He will be asked to log in with his Microsoft account, and then he will see his username pre-filled there. He just clicks enroll, and boom, as a result, you will have that information from his Entra ID account filled in the user and location section. For automated device enrollment, we could use like an enrollment customization, and then during the setup assistant, the user will be asked to log in with his Microsoft account, and once again, as a result, that will be filled in here. You could also just do it multiple different ways, right? You could just do it manually, put in the username, and then everything gets filled up. There is also, you can do it with the Jamf recon command. There's multiple ways to do this, but yeah, as long as you get to that point, you're good. So what's available in Jamf Pro 11.18? Well, they have added that you can use an extension attribute that is basically gonna bring Entra ID group membership in it. So basically one extension attribute, and you can see a list of all the groups the user assigned to that Mac is part of. And so yeah, basically I'll go over this, but I'll just show you a quick demo of a video of how to create that extension attribute. So we go in settings, computer management, extension attributes. I'm gonna name this one Jamf native Microsoft Entra ID group membership. And then I'll make it so that it appears under extension attributes, directory service attribute mapping, and you simply put that attribute right here, name member of dot display name. And we want to allow attribute multiple values. The reason being, otherwise there will just be one group that would appear, and then there's a bunch that will appear by checking this box. Same principle here. This works just as well for mobile devices. So, and yeah, there's also the transitive option that you could do, which would not only add direct group memberships, but as well as groups that are inside of a group. So yeah, like in this case with this method, the extension attribute, when will it update? Well, the answer is at the next update inventory. So, and normally in most instances, it's once every day. So if there's an update inventory, you do a change in Entra ID, you change the group membership of that user, it will not reflect on the Jamf Pro side until next update inventory. So here's just a quick demo of an example. I got a developer software group in Entra ID. I can confirm that my user under user and location is filled up, and then that it's actually also part of that group. And then I'll simply go in smart computer groups, do a new one for my developer software group. And then I would search for that extension attribute that I created. And I can simply do has, or basically contains developer software. And that's it, we're good. So now something new came up last week. I'll try my best to explain it. But basically there's something called directory service group criteria. In this case, what happens is that, so what you're seeing here on the screen are the new native criteria as of 11.29. So these criteria map groups natively using the group UUID mapping from your cloud identity provider or LDAP integration to confirm group membership. So what that means is that it's just already native criteria in Jamf Pro. It does not require any extension attribute that you create. And what's pretty cool also, unlike the extension attribute method of 11.18 that was working only with Microsoft, is that technically this would also work well with Okta and Google and other identity providers. And also the extension attribute method was relying on the fact that you have the username pre-filled in the user and location section of a device record. But with this method, yes, you can do it that way, but you can also do it different ways. So I'm gonna break down each of these criterias. The first one being user last logged in computer. So that means it evaluates the group membership of the user who performed the last local macOS login. So for example, if a user is like, his local username is, for example, the email, then, and that's on your like identity provider settings, you've put it the mapping of the username to the email, they match both, and it does the group membership checkup that way. User last logged in self-service, same principle, but this time it evaluates the group membership of the user who most recently logged in to the Jamf self-service plus application. Then we have user last logged in MDM. I gotta be honest on that one, I'm not sure exactly what it does, what it maps to exactly. It's not totally documented, so if someone knows, feel free to enlighten me at the end of the presentation. But the two most important ones, or probably useful ones, I would say, are the username and then the assigned user. So username directory service group, what we mean by this one is that it's gonna look at the literal string sitting in the username text box under username location. So what that means is that even if there's not a user object ID from the directory that exists, it's just gonna look at whatever text is in that username field, and that's what it will take as the username. Assigned user directory service group is actually is pretty similar, but this one does require that there is actually a user object ID that exists. So if you do a group using either the username or the assigned user, normally whether you use one or the other, it should give you the same number of devices. It's just a technical, small technical difference in the backend. So one other thing that I did not mention is that's pretty nice is that unlike the extension attribute method, which would only update group membership at an update inventory, so like once every day, this one actually does update every 20 minutes. It recalculates the smart groups automatically every 20 minutes, so that's pretty neat, and it's gonna be more fast to give you accurate results. So when you do a change on the Entra ID side, you change a user, you don't have to, and you would like it to reflect right away, you don't have to force an update inventory, you just wait 20 minutes and it's gonna do it itself automatically. So yeah, all of that works for mobile devices too, at the exception of there's no user logged into the mobile device, so there's just this one that's different from computer. But yeah, whether it's for mobile devices, computers, that works well. And here's just like a quick video demo of if you wanted to create an IT team smart group using one of those criterias. And in this case, I'll use the user criteria. So we can see that we got a couple ones, but I'll simply use the username directory service group, which means match. So for the username, it's actually gonna take, yeah. So I do a search of IT group here. It finds that I've got this IT group, Entra group that exists, and that's it. So now any devices, any Macs, that I have that his username under username location is part of the IT group in Entra ID, his Mac would show up in here. So yeah, I'm actually not gonna show the real world. Yeah, I can do just one actually. So because we're gonna run out of time, but in this case, this example is with if I have like a developer software group. So your developers might need some different applications than everybody. So you might want to have like just Visual Studio Code, for example, with the Jamf app catalog that you want deployed to them. You might want to have also like another app like Xcode just deployed to them, although sometimes it doesn't work the best. But yeah, so there's a lot of different things that you can do. You can be very creative to just scope some apps, some blueprints, some compliance to max that the owner is part of a certain Entra ID group. So I'll skip that one. And yeah, so basically, if you want to have those slides, all of my resources, you can just scan this QR code. It will redirect you to our GitHub. And if you ever want to reach out to me on the MacAdmin Slack or on LinkedIn, here are my infos. And yeah, thank you for your attention.